Hello, hello. So if you've been following along, we've done 3 videos now, and this is the 4th of orcas on the Salish Sea. And this is where we're at so far. We did our background sky and our ocean and islands, and now we're going to get into the orcas. And I'm cheating a little bit. I'm using this picture to help. So here we go. We'll just break it down one little shape at a time. And so basically, one of the key things is figuring out where you want to put the first orca. I'm going to do 3, a little orca family. So we're going to have one orca, the main one right here, and then a couple little ones up here. Okay? So, you want a brush that can put a decent amount of paint on. So I like using this brush a lot. I get the thin line with it. But for those really tiny little points, this kind of a brush is great as well. So I'm going to switch between the 2. And as I said, you can see the image I'm using here. And I always start smaller, and then I can make it bigger if I make a mistake. So starting with just a little bit of black. Not too much paint on the brush. And we're going to have a little bit of an angle here. And then we've got the little nose. We'll switch to this other brush for a sec.
What's cool? Is there some kind of rule? Is it something that you share when you're alert and around? There's some word to say on the bang that you begin to do. Can you dig it?
And you can use your finger to get the proportions. So, like from the base of the tail to the top is almost as long as the top part of my thumb. And then if I do the length, it is 1, 2, almost 3. So the length of the body is almost 3 times the height of the tail. Pretty close, yeah. The human eye is surprisingly accurate.
Is it sweet? Is it spice? Does it set the night off nights. I can get with us.
Then we just come along, kind of find our water line, and we need to leave a little bit of space for that white spot, which just peeks up out of the water here. Kind of right under the blowhole, which is sort of right here. And you can just adjust the shape of the body until you're happy. Okay, that's enough for that. We'll leave that to dry, and then we can come in and put the other details, but that's the start. And you can see my tail is a little bit too curved at the top there. So if you need to adjust something that you've done in black, you really have to let it dry, and then it takes a lot to go over it. So unless you're sure it's worth fixing, sometimes it's better to just leave it. Now, like I said, I do make things a little smaller to begin with, so I'll show you. What you could do, if you wanted to fix that, is you could just make this tail a little bigger. Bring it up here to a bit more of a point. And then it's got a little bit more of a rounded top. There we go. That actually looks a little bit better. Still could be, let's go a little higher here. think that's a bit better. It's hard to get the tail proportions just right. What do you think, Ginge?
See? Yeah.
So you can see the tail is kind of quite pointy at the top.
Yeah. So you get it dips down too much there.
Yeah, I think it comes up over more like this. And this is why you start small, because you can
You started pretty big.
Yeah, I did actually.
And where'd you?
That'll be okay. I think that's good enough for me. Maybe not good enough for you, but that's your problem, not mine. So, there's our first whale. And we're going to do 2 little ones off here. That'll give us some depth. So, let's do another one.
Smaller brush.
Smaller brush. Let's break it down again. It's easier to start with the biggest one first. Okay, so now I'm going to put another little one up here. Oh, here's somebody.
Hi, I'm just coming to say that Candace said no thank you, but thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
maybe just slap a free sign
Yeah,
on it then.
will do. Thanks, my man. Awesome. Who's this guy?
Yeah. Hi. Okay, there's our next little whale. Let's see if we can get this tail down a little better. There we go. And I use the edge of the table as a bit of a rest for my arm. And that way I can get a nice steady hand. That's a good little trick, or you can use your pinky as a brace sometimes. So there's a start of a second whale there. And let's do one more. What do you think? A third one out here? Or up in the distance there? Kind of neat to see it. What do you think, love?
No, it's
You're
hard
getting
to
smaller and
make it
smaller.
like not so perfect, but
1, 2, 3.
We'll do
yeah, I can do it.
down here. Making this one really small. Okay. Little orca family.
Yeah.
So that's the base coat. I'm going to let that dry and then I'll come back and I'll put in the details with the white, the water reflections, and some spray. And that should be the last step. So we'll see you soon.